Hello and welcome to another video. We're at the river, as I'm sure you can hear. Just found what I believe to be an oyster mushroom. Pretty cool. Smells cool. But yeah, so we're at the river and hopefully we're going to set up a camp and we're going to spend the night. For those of you that are not new to my channel, you may or may not recognise this spot. I do enjoy exploring new places and new woodlands that I've not been to before, but there's just something really nice about coming to a spot that you frequent often and seeing it change with the seasons. It seems like a very special privilege, really, to be able to watch a spot transform. So you can see we've got a mushroom here. I believe this is a goblet mushroom. Obviously I'm not an expert, but I know somebody that is, so I'm going to send her some photos and see what she says. But as a general rule of thumb, if you're not 100% sure, if you don't know, don't eat it. So I think we've got goblet mushrooms there and an oyster mushroom. I'm going to have to light a fire in a moment because the bugs are eating me alive, as per usual. But I thought I'd just quickly show you what I have with me food-wise. I've got some steak, I've got some marshmallows, because you can't have a campfire without marshmallows, and I've also got some packet pasta, but I don't have a spoon or a fork or anything with me, so that's something we'll have to rectify. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, that'll do. I actually leave bark rings on the handles of the tools that I make because it helps me to grip the tool while I'm carving, because obviously I don't use any fancy knives, I just use my everyday bushcraft knife. We've also got our designated marshmallow toasting stick, which is arguably the most important tool of all when you're in the woods, I believe. That's us pretty much ready. Look at that birch bark from earlier. We'll use this to light the fire. But before I do that, I'll just give you a quick walk around of my camp. Okay, so we've got cloud point configuration, which is my sort of preferred method really. It's just the quickest. And then on the inside, we have our basic sleep system, rucksack, fire pit, and some wood. It's going to be cold tonight. It's also going to be dark at about 4 p.m. Well, between 4 and 5 p.m. tonight. I believe sunset is 20 past 4. So we're in for a long night, but that's okay, because long nights by the fire are one of my favourite things in the world. You probably can't tell on the camera, but it's definitely starting to get a little bit dark. I'm going to light this fire. Okay, so all I've done here is I've just made a platform with some of the logs, because even though it hasn't rained today, it's very humid and the ground is soaking wet. Well, that's the fire lit, and you probably can't tell, but it's already starting to get dark. So if the fire is going, then you can see me, but if the fire dies out, you won't be able to see me because it's already quite dark. So to remedy that, I bought this great big photography light. I can actually already see my breath when I breathe out, so that means it's already quite chilly. So I might change into my thermals in a bit if I decide that I need them. But apart from that, the only thing really left to do is make some food. So you can see this panel, it's very bright, and it's got like a percentage brightness on it. I'd say that's about ready. This photography panel light is making a huge difference to just the fact that you can actually see me. It has a little attachment on the bottom so I can put it onto a tripod. So, but I've only got one tripod with me today. There was a lot more pasta there than I anticipated, so I think I'm going to leave the steaks for breakfast. I've just laid here and watched the fire for a couple of hours, but it's getting late, so I'm going to stoke the fire back up and I'm going to go to bed. Lights off, and I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It's 6:30. The sun hasn't come up yet. My fire is pretty much just burnt down to coals now. I'm not going to relight it just yet. I think I'm gonna use the coals and cook this steak, and then once I've done that, I'll decide if I want to relight the fire or not. Tastes like steak. Right, that's us. We're up, we're awake. I don't know if you can see, but oh, there's one. All the leaves are falling. My friend got back to me about the mushrooms, and yes, this is an oyster mushroom, and the other one is a goblet funnel cap. So I was right, which is cool. Also, yes, they are both edible. However, I'm going to leave them because there's a lot of wildlife and things around that I'm sure would appreciate them. So if I don't need them, I won't take them. So you may or may not have noticed, I don't use a sleeping bag. So that is my preference over a sleeping bag. They're about 40 quid. Depending on the size you get them. So this is a double quilt, and as you can see, it's a fraction of the size, a fraction of the weight of a sleeping bag. It's really, really easy to just throw in my pack, and I have this pillow that rolls up and has a little compression sack. So between the two of them, that's just a lot more practical for me, especially when I'm hiking long distances. The little fork that I made did a good job, as expected. When you're carving a tool, it doesn't need to be fancy, it doesn't need to look beautiful, it just needs to do the job, and that did the job, so it gets a thumbs up from me. Right, and our fire is officially out. Officially. Nighttime hat goes off. Daytime hat, if I can get it, goes on. Time to pack up. Okay, well, that's us packed up and ready to go home. If you like what you see and would like to see more videos from me, then be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, etc, etc. If you'd like to see a rundown of the kit that I use, let me know in the comment section and I'll film a kit video for you guys. But that's it, it's time to walk home. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the woods.